A very lovely evening to you. Many thanks for joining us on our news at 6 here on Superscreen television. I am Precious Amayu, and we'll begin now with a report that ahead of the governorship election slated for March 9, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has cautioned the All Progressives Congress (APC) and security agents against a militarization of the South-South. The National Publicity Secretary and Director of Media and Publicity of PDP Presidential Campaign Organization, Kola Ologbondiyan, gave the warning at a press briefing in Abuja. The PDP spokesperson cautioned the APC to be mindful of the fact that the Niger Delta region is the mainstay of the national economy and that any assault on the zone is capable of spelling doom for the nation.
The PDP, ahead of the March 9 elections, cautions the APC and its compromised military agents to note that the people of the Niger Delta are already hurting over killings of their compatriots during the February 23 elections, and any further provocation will be a clear recipe for crisis. The PDP is committed to peaceful election, but cautions that nobody has a monopoly of show of strength. The people of the Niger Delta are peace-loving, but have never in the history of our nation allowed themselves to be suppressed or vanquished by oppressive forces. It is incontrovertible that the South-South is a stronghold of the PDP, and people are fully mobilized for the March 9 election. The PDP cautions the APC to be mindful of the fact that the Niger Delta region is the mainstay of our national economy, and that any unwarranted assault of the region has a possibility of spelling doom for the nation as the people will resist aggression. The PDP calls the attention of the world to the devious devices of the APC against the South-South states, as such constitutes a huge threat to our corporate existence as a nation.
He called the attention of the world to what he termed devious devices of APC against the South-South, maintaining that PDP is committed to peaceful election, but cautioned that nobody has a monopoly of show of strength. PDP, however, called on its members and supporters in the nation to boldly come out and march to vote on March 9 and use every legitimate means to monitor and protect their votes to the end. And still on the presidential election results, Southwest leaders of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have accused the All Progressives Congress (APC) of indulging in election malpractice during the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections across the Federation. PDP's Southwest National Vice Chairman Eddie Oyefeso disclosed this today while briefing journalists in Lagos.
We are all witnesses to the abuses that characterized the general elections of Saturday to the 3rd February and the double standard which ensured that electoral guidelines adopted for the election guaranteed different approaches to its conduct, both in the northern and the southern part of our nation. Where it is compulsory that car reader be employed and deployed in the south, and it serves as absolute requisite for ballot casting, it was put in abeyance and totally not rejected in the north. Yet the election was meant to produce the President of the Federal Republic. This is double standard and totally unacceptable. This clearly confirms that INEC was obviously prepared and equally did not set out to conduct a credible election. In this respect, we query whatever rationale that will make it accept mutilated results from states like Nasarawa, Kano, Yobe, and Borno, amongst many others. In these states, and indeed many not mentioned here, we are particularly amazed when due credence is given to the fact that the number of votes surpassed accredited voters. Even more surprising is the many vote cancellation in places where the People's Democratic Party won.
The meeting, which had in attendance other party leaders from the Southwest, alleged that the APC engaged in double standard using both independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and security agencies to their advantage. On his part, Olamide George warned the party to be wary of of the consequence of their action.
Took 2 billion vans into his house, broad daylight. And I thank whoever took that picture. It must have been from one of the top high-rises around the area there. God bless that fellow. Now, who should be the number one to be prosecuted for money laundering? So why you see, when somebody is going off the track and the system is not there to correct it, what guarantees that the people will continue to respect that system? Is it cherry-picking policies that we have? Some are more like the animal farm.
The Constitution is absolutely clear. Even as chaotic as El-Rufai is, he mentioned it that the Constitution is very clear as to, you know, where you're born and have spent 3 years is your home. The Lagos State belongs to all, and that's the reason why it's a center of commerce. Everybody comes in here, you do your business, and everybody takes the profit and the credit, and it's been a very peaceful world for us. I have mentioned it earlier. We registered over 5 million. They chased people around, they killed in Okota, they burned ballot papers in locations across. Let me tell you, as at this moment, our candidate for Ikeja, MKO, what's the full name of MKO? Okola is being flown for no just reason to the headquarters of DSS in Abuja.
And the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has been commended for his patience and decision to seek redress in court. A legal practitioner, Tony Ofoyetan, gave the commendation today in an interview with Superscreen in Lagos.
The reaction, it's such that you see either people are not happy or people are indifferent. And those that are happy basically because the candidate of their choice, which they believe they will have benefit from, won. But having said so, the good thing is that there was no, post-election violence. I think I would appreciate the opposition for that, because it would take just a little trigger from the opposition to cause mayhem, just a statement, and it would have caused a lot of mayhem. But so far so good, that they've also told the part of legal process, I think is good enough, and I appreciate them for it.
The legal practitioner is optimistic that with convincing evidence, Atiku will get a fair hearing in court.
They are aware of the fact that the judiciary may not be for them. Let me just use a word like that, or that it may be for them. It's a product of what they put before the court. The court is a court of documents, court of records. Your facts must be clear. The documents you are presenting before the court must also be convincing, admissible in law. Be it electronic, be it documentary, and all those stuff like that, they must be admissible. And relevant too. Once PDP is able to do its homework very well, and it becomes obviously convincing, I will assure you that the judiciary will not have option other than to give him judgment.
And as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, announced the 2019 presidential election results, Nigerians have expressed mixed feelings in the outcome of the results. Speaking to Superscreen's Blessed Omonuse, the respondents charged the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari to consolidate on his present achievement.
This is the Yaba area of Lagos State, precisely Tejo Osho Market. As you can see, Nigerians are going about their usual activities despite the announcement that was made by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
Varied reactions continue to trail the results of the 2019 presidential elections announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. where President Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress APC defeated his closest rival, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party PDP with over 15 million votes. These Nigerians, though, expressed mixed feelings of happiness and sadness, challenging the incumbent president to consolidate on his present achievement. Others questioned the authenticity of the result, expressing lack of performance in key areas of national development.
I'm not happy, 100% happy about Buhari winning this second elections. So I heard about change. I vote Buhari in. So this time around now, Buhari won again, and that change, Buhari didn't give me that change.
It's the final decision, and I won't say I'm happy or not. Whoever it is, whether Buhari, whether Atiku, whether Fela Durotoye, once the Nigerians have decided, I have no choice than to support as a good citizen of the country.
Nigeria is not the way it is before. Many things have changed. Nigeria likes to cover truth than say truth.
Happy, 100% happiness.
Why are you happy?
Buhari is okay for me. The problem they have over 16 years, so now everybody is ready to settle. When Buhari continue the second one, everybody will enjoy, everybody will be okay.
Why should I be happy in this kind of government? People are suffering. No job, no food, killing all over the country. See our graduates, even my children, I have 2 graduates, they are doing nothing. Since they are finished their university level.
That's the will of God.
Are you happy?
You have to be happy with the will of God. That's just the point. If it is not God's will, that will not happen. God will lead him right. That's just the basis.
We have a very good image abroad. He has been fighting corruption, no money laundering anyhow. Now, you understand? And our economy is getting stable, you can say. But when we give him another chance now, he's going to perform better again.
It remains to be seen how the newly elected incumbent president will take Nigeria to the next level, as clearly promised during his election campaign.
And ahead of the gubernatorial elections, Hausas in Lagos State, under the aegis of Arawas in Lagos, have thrown their weight behind the All Progressives Congress gubernatorial candidate in Lagos, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The Hausas today paid a courtesy visit to the Ojara of Ijora Kingdom, Oba Fatai Aramire, to make known the rationale behind their decision. Speaking to Superscreen News, these Hausa leaders say the APC as a party has been performing well in the state, so they are left with no other choice.
I believe Ofoyetan and others, Northern has believed we are more than 5 to 6 billion. And I believe many of us registered. And also, all our vote going to APC, nobody is going to Okana.
Where I was Lagos State, I didn't see governor invite Hausa people to go at KBC Palace. Gather ourselves. So many people for many years we didn't see ourselves. Today we see ourselves, and then we know that we are all APC candidates. However, for my own area, we have 1,700 and something thousand, but I can know the number where I get the BBC today. And all we are here today because of Governor Soul, next governor in Lagos State. Most of us Okada riders, marketers, some other things doing. But we pray that this coming governor will assist us to get a better life.
We expect that as we study the present, we want to study this governor of Lagos State as a nuclear concern. He's a good man in character, and we respect him. The way that he has attended the nuclear people, he attended the way that we hear the way that he's talking to us is a good manner. We know that it's a good.
Responding, Oba Aramire lauded the decision. He further urged that they conduct themselves peacefully before, during, and after the elections in the states.
As a real father, I have to call people living under me, both Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo, about this election. I want it to be peaceful. Election means something. You can't force somebody to do something. But I've talked to them.
You're still watching News at 6 on Superscreen television. We'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll bring you business stories. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us. Now on business, traders at the Nigeria Stock Exchange say the Naira could inch up next week as uncertainty eases for foreign investors following the conclusion of the presidential and National Assembly elections. Nigeria and Kenya currencies are seen firming against the United States dollar in the coming week, while Zambia's kwacha is likely to recoup losses and the Uganda shilling is seen weakening. The Naira firmed to 360 Naira 65 kobo per dollar on over-the-counter market for investors on Thursday, up from 361 Naira 50 kobo a week earlier, while foreign investors have piled into bonds to lock up yields as high as 15%. Traders expect more inflows into the bond market, especially after a debt auction this week attracted more than 10 times the amount the government had offered to sell. And in the banking sector, the Nigerian banking stocks have slumped the most since June 2016, a day after the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, as some investors showed disappointment at the defeat of his market-friendly opponent. An index of Nigeria's 10 largest banking stocks dropped by 4.6% at the end of trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, while the country's benchmark stocks index retreated for the third day. First City Monument Bank PLC was the sector's major loser, down by 9.78%. According to reports, an analyst at Exotics Capital, Olabisi Ayodeji, confirmed that they are seeing investors react negatively in the short term to the election results. And now on pension scheme, the pension fund administrators, PFAs, have invested 636.99 billion naira out of the total pension funds in their custody in banks as of the end of November 2018. President, Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria, Aderunke Adedeji, who made the disclosure, said the issue of pension funds in economic development has moved into the focus of public attention, particularly with regards to Nigeria's growing need for long-term capital. She also said successful mobilization of pension fund assets and its contributions to the economic growth of any nation are essential policy objectives. Figures obtained from the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, during the period under review shows that the total pension fund is pegged at 8.49 trillion naira. We take another quick break and we'll return with stories from the international scene. Do stay with us.